Faith in the Challenge. On this weekend, when we celebrate the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., how many of the changes that he dreamed of can we say are truly and effectively a part of our daily lives? Are the challenges faced by our brothers and sisters of color truly gone? Or have they been replaced by something equally dark? Is the pain and frustration that motivated the Montgomery bus boycott, the sit-ins, Birmingham and Selma and other cities, and the March on Washington, still a driving force in U.S. race relations in the 21st century? In his letter from Birmingham jail, Dr. King states, "Moreover, I am cognizant of the interrelatedness of all communities and states. I cannot sit idly by in Atlanta and not be concerned about what happens in Birmingham. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Never again can we afford to live with the narrow, provincial, outside agitator idea. Anyone who lives inside the United States can never be considered an outsider." End quote. In an election year, in a post-9/11 world, this, to my way of thinking, is a particularly poignant reflection. The party rhetoric can be so heated and focused. It is difficult to see the truth behind the bluster and hype. It becomes important to slow down and really look at and consider what is being said and what we can realistically expect from each and every candidate. Are the goals they espouse feasible? Can they, in fact, within the existing governmental structure, deliver what they are so busy promising us? Are they the person most likely to act in the best interest of all citizens of the United States and not simply pander to those financing their campaigns? As the old saying goes, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Where corruption holds sway, faith and progress are lost. In today's gospel reading, we find Jesus at first berating and then obliging his mother in the matter of the wine for the wedding at Cana. From the reading. When the wine gave out, the mother of Jesus said to him, "They have no wine." And Jesus said to her, "O woman, what have you to do with me? My hour is not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Her faith, despite Jesus' seeming reluctance, forms the basis for the first of Jesus' great diversity of miracles. This act of faith and subsequent display of power lay the foundation for a whole new vision of religion, a new relationship between a loving God and a cherished creation. It provided for the possibility of a Martin Luther King Jr. and his vision. In his famous "I Have a Dream" speech, Dr. King draws a picture of what a faithful, faith-filled world would look like. A world where people people live out their faith in any and all circumstance. A world where the challenge of race is no more. And I have some short quotes from that speech, some of which we might have heard and many of which were not familiar to me. We refuse to believe that the Bank of Justice is bankrupt. We have also come to this hallowed spot to remind America of the fierce urgency of now. Now is the time to make justice a reality for all of God's children. And as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall always march ahead. I have a dream one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. In these days he would write all persons are created equal. With this faith, we will be able to hew out of the mountain of despair a stone of hope. We live in a world filled with challenges, whether mental, emotional, physical, or social. Every day, we make choices about how we want to live and how our lives will be impacted by those choices. When we choose faith and the power of the positive, we find ourselves with many more tools available to help us live life to the fullest. Those, like Jesus and Martin Luther King Jr., who choose to live a life of service, are the light at the end of the tunnel. They give us hope that despite the darkness that surrounds us, there is still good to be found when you take the time to look for it. We all have the potential to be the wine in the jar of water that is humanity. This weekend, let us choose wisely and well how we will reflect the faith of Jesus and Martin Luther King Jr. to those whom we encounter. Amen.